Hi, welcome to our channel. For today's video, we will recap a sci-fi thriller film called Freaks from the year 2018. The plot revolves around a curious girl uncovering the truth behind why her paranoid father forces them to hide from the outside world. After her powers started to manifest, she discovered the truth about the outside world and her mother. Have you seen this movie yet? If not, grab some popcorn and enjoy. At the beginning of the movie, we are introduced to Chloe, who appears to be staring through a hole at an ice cream vehicle outside her house. She lives with her strict father Henry in an abandoned house because their mother passed away years ago. The area around Chloe's home is filled with abnormalities. The birds outside look to be glitching and are motionless. There doesn't seem to be any life outside the house, and the electricity is constantly out. Henry is usually upset when she peeks outside because she is scared of the evil man who killed her mother and orders her to never even think about leaving the house. Henry is not sure if she will be safe. He has therefore made plans in case something unexpected happens to him. He has an agreement with the Reeds, their next-door neighbors. As long as they look after his daughter, the Reeds will get a regular payment in the event of his absence. Harper, the girl, Nancy, the mother, and Steve, the father, make up the family. Henry's eyes eventually begin to bleed one day when they are playing poker. Chloe heard an odd noise coming from her wardrobe that night while she was sleeping. Abruptly, she opens it to inspect, and there is a woman screaming inside the wardrobe. In terror, Chloe also yells. Running back to her bed, she begins writing "Go away, ghost" over and again on the wall. The screams eventually fade away, and the ghost vanishes. Chloe glances through a window the next morning, waking up to the clanking of an ice cream wagon. Harper, the daughter of her neighbor, is purchasing ice cream. Knowing Harper won't hear her, she whispers to her to bring it to her. But shortly after, there is a knock on the doors. Chloe opens the door as she dashes downstairs. It is Harper, unexpectedly, who is extending the ice cream offer to her. She is ready to grab it when Henry stops her from behind. Henry is taken aback when Harper addresses Chloe by name once more because he has never introduced her to anybody before. He promptly ushers her inside. Chloe argues that she has never left the house, but Henry doesn't believe her and punishes her by locking her in the closet. Henry is enraged and demands to know if she has ever met Harper. She is still upset with Henry and insists on going out even after he apologizes to her the next morning when he walks into the closet. Should she never open the door again, Henry promises he will bring her ice cream. After that, he heads to the grocery shop but returns hurt and holding a revolver. Chloe searches the basket he brought for ice cream while he heals his wounds, but it is not there. Her father faints from the wound as she begins to yell at him. Chloe hears the ice cream truck one more outside their house. She opens the locker, takes out $100 cash, and steps outside. She accepts an ice cream cone as payment from the elderly man in the truck, who then convinces her to join the old man. Despite her concerns, she enters when he promises that he will accompany her to the playground. Chloe catches her first glimpse of the outside world as they drive away. She spots a billboard depicting a person with gouges in his eyes. Call 911 if you encounter someone who looks like that, it states below the image. Chloe says the man bleeds just like her father. Chloe replies that she has never bled like that when the elderly guy asks. As they get to the park, the man puts Chloe on a swing and inquires as to what she is capable of that others are not. Chloe, though, is too preoccupied to respond. All of a sudden, he swings her violently. Fearing for her life, Chloe begs him to stop, but he encourages her rage in an attempt to unleash her potential. A policeman eventually comes up to them and requests that he move away from the girl. Chloe disputes the elderly man's assertion that he is her grandfather. Alan is then asked to reveal his eyes by the officer. Alan turns to face Chloe, telling her that one of the wicked individuals who killed her mother was the police. Chloe loses her cool and yells for the man to leave. Remarkably, it works. He leaves without saying anything more. It turns revealed that Chloe possesses telepathic talents, which are the capacity to enter and control the thoughts of others. As he starts to see that Chloe is unique, the elderly man brings her back to her family. He gives Chloe a picture of her mother Mary and tells her about her while they are on their way. He admits his true identity as Alan, Chloe's grandfather. He offers her a powder before they separate ways, telling her to drug her dad the moment she hears the ice cream truck. Henry will nod off, and Chloe can go to the park as her reward. Taking the powder, she enters the building. Henry finds Chloe in her room painting when he wakes up a few hours later. After she accuses him of lying about the evil guys outside the house, he fights with her. That evening, she imagines Mary as she looks at her photo. Abruptly, the wardrobe begins to scream once more. When Chloe enters, she encounters the ghost she had seen a few days earlier. But now she acknowledges her as Mary, her mother. She introduces herself, but Chloe bolts from the closet as Mary pushes her away, telling her that it's all a hallucination. It becomes out that Chloe can see and communicate with individuals at a distance thanks to her long-distance telepathic skill. Her father dozed out in the morning while hearing the news. Chloe listens to the news in silence. Chloe learns that they are weird people, often referred to as the freaks, from the news. When freaks employ their superpowers, their eyes bleed all over the place. A freak caused thousands of deaths and major damage to Dallas 10 years ago. Since then, the government has established the ADF, a defense force against the freaks. All freaks are detained by the ADF at an underground facility on Mount Maddock. Freaks who are seen wandering the city are forbidden and may be put to death right away. Agent Ray, an ADF agent, divulges her scheme to teach the freaks on Mount Maddock to be weapons in combat. Chloe is devastated by the news that she has received. She dreams of being adopted by the Reed family at some point in the future so she can live a normal family life and have a loving mother figure. Later, Chloe is wishing she lived with Harper as she plays with paper toys. Harper and her friends enter the room at that same moment. Screaming at Chloe, Harper demands to know why she is in her room. Despite appearing to be in separate rooms, Chloe's magic has allowed the two to cross paths in some way. Harper's companions tease Chloe for not having a mother. Chloe wails and cries. Harper and the other girls are gone when she opens her eyes, and Mary is in the closet. Her mother initially thinks Chloe is having a hallucination and doesn't think it's her daughter, but as time goes on, she starts to realize that Chloe actually possesses telepathic abilities. Chloe begins conversing with her mom. Not long after, Chloe's mother abruptly vanishes once more. It turns out that Mary, Chloe's mother, is also a freak. She is still alive and being detained in Mount Maddock. Henry doesn't believe Chloe when she tells him about her mother the following morning. She attempts to drug her father because she doesn't see any other way out. Henry follows her to the door after realizing what she's doing. He falls to the ground as she tells him to go to sleep, and Chloe starts to bleed in her eye. Alan greets her in his truck and explains his intentions to her. Chloe's mother, according to Alan, is still alive but is being held captive atop Mount Maddock. He intends to travel to Mount Maddock and meet Ray, an ADF agent. Chloe is taken by Alan to see Agent Ray. Then he starts making up a story about Chloe being his adoptive daughter and him being a priest. He explains he only recently discovered Chloe is one of the freaks. He requests that Agent Ray bring Chloe to Mount Maddock while keeping her safe. In addition, Alan wishes to go there with Chloe. Next, in order to confirm that Chloe is a freak, Agent Ray looks for bloodstains beneath her eyes. When Ray looks under Alan's eyes, he discovers nothing. Chloe becomes infuriated when she is called a freak and screams that she is not one. Ray requests assistance, believing Chloe to be a threat. Fortunately, Alan and Chloe escape by vanishing out of sight. As it happens, Alan is also a freak with the power to turn invisible. To get rid of the blood clots under his eyes, he has started applying hydrogen peroxide. From there, the two run away. He intends to bring Chloe to his home to teach her how to harness her skills so they can aid Chloe's mother, even though Chloe begs him to take her back home. She makes him drive home by using her power. Alan is taken by Henry when he suddenly appears on the road in his vehicle, and they both vanish. After bringing Alan home, he ties him to a chair. Henry comes back to Chloe a little while later. He starts giving Chloe a rundown of everything. It appears that Henry has been a freak as well for the entire time. His power is to conjure a time bubble in which the outside world appears to move more slowly while the one inside the bubble functions properly. He had been able to establish a time bubble around their residence for all this time, provided he wasn't asleep. While Chloe's mother's incarceration may have occurred only a few months ago, the two of them had been living and hiding in the house for 7 years. Henry decides it's time to give Chloe a proper send-off and drives her to the Reeds to make up for their agreement. Agreeing, Stephen presents Nancy and Harper to them. Nancy quickly finds out that Chloe is a freak and opposes the agreement, claiming she was unaware that they were going to be adopting a freak. They implore the Reeds not to notify the police before they finally go. Henry discovers that Chloe already possesses superpowers when he returns home and is startled to see her eyes bleed. Henry hides her in the closet because he's afraid to trust her. She encounters her mother Mary there, who is being detained at Mount Maddock, but the prison guard abruptly pulls Mary outside. Henry is informed about Chloe's mother when she emerges from the closet. Henry does not trust her at first, but Alan eventually gives Henry the full explanation. As it happens, Mary was taken prisoner and Alan succeeded in escaping after they lost their attack on Mount Maddock. He believed that Mary had been slain, but in reality, She had just been taken into prison. Abruptly, Chloe witnesses her neighbor Nancy calling the police to report them. Chloe sees what Nancy is talking about by using her psychic abilities. Nancy refers to Chloe as a freak. Chloe, agitated, tries to sway the policeman with her influence. He stabs the eye of Nancy. Nancy is shot by ADF agents as soon as they notice that her eyes are bleeding, believing her to be a freak. Eventually, the ADF arrests the Reed's family, believing them all to be freaks. Henry is furious with Chloe for harming someone, but they fight while Alan stands up for her. Chloe heads straight to her chamber, where she sees Mary being taken prisoner. When Henry and Alan arrive, he is startled to see his wife. Mary is apparently going to be executed shortly. Henry attempts to shoot the doctor, but he is obviously unable to do so as it is only an illusion. After Henry and Alan tell Mary farewell, Chloe abruptly uses her telepathic abilities to take control of the doctor's thoughts and utilizes the gadget to unalive. To release her mother, Chloe enters the other officer's head. At that moment, the doorbell sounds. Agent Ray is here. She is here to look into them. In an attempt to sell the house, Henry freezes in time and dons a realtor's outfit. Alan provides him with hydrogen peroxide to help him get rid of the eye blood stains. After letting Ray inside, he examines Henry for any signs of blood. They converse for some time after she is unable to locate any. As it happens, she is already aware of his identity. Mary is being released from the establishment by Chloe in the interim. Before Alan can intervene to assist Henry, Ray shoots him, seriously wounding him. Before she can turn Alan invisible, she does the same to him. Upon going upstairs, she observes Chloe attempting to set Mary free. Alan intervenes to save Chloe's life at the expense of his own after she shoots her. Chloe manipulates Ray's thoughts and forces her to shoot herself out of agitation. Then she bids her grandfather farewell for the last time. Chloe is still rescuing her mother, while outside the cops have surrounded the house after hearing gunshots. When the guards are about to apprehend Mary, she takes control of them and causes them to dispose of one another. Then she releases Mary by opening the exit door for her. Mary steps outside and, with her might, takes off. Chloe abuses her authority to the point where she passes out. The injured Henry utilizes his abilities one last time to slow the missile down as it locks itself into the house. As the missile hits the home and burns everything behind him, he carries Chloe outside. After waking up, Henry bids Chloe farewell and expresses his love for her. Henry's bullet wound causes his death. When Chloe hears gunshots, she is still grieving over her father. Agents of the ADF are still hunting for Chloe and attempting to apprehend her. The gunfire abruptly ends as Mary arrives in time to rescue her. When Chloe and Mary first meet, she swears to forever always protect Chloe. But Chloe assures her that they can live anywhere they choose and that they are no longer required to hide. The movie ends as Mary hugs Chloe and they takes off to a much safer place. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoy the movie. See you in our next video.